When you buy a product made overseas, it feels like a simple equation. A factory somewhere in your own country shuts down, and a local worker loses their livelihood. It makes intuitive sense. If we import more foreign goods, we must be manufacturing less at home, and if we manufacture less, unemployment goes up. It's a straight line from foreign imports to domestic job loss. Between 1970 and 2021, the US rapidly globalized. Trade climbed from 11 to 32% of GDP. But look at total employment over that same half-century. Instead of collapsing, US jobs more than doubled, from 71 to 150 million. If imported goods directly subtracted domestic jobs, a heavily globalized nation would face permanent, widespread unemployment. The data shows something else entirely. International trade actually triggers a massive, largely invisible reorganization of the entire labor market. When trade barriers fall, the pain is highly visible. Specific factories that can't compete with cheaper foreign labor do close, and those workers experience real, immediate displacement. But there is a direct counter effect happening at the exact same time. Imported goods cost less. When households buy those cheaper foreign products, they retain extra money in their budgets. It functions exactly like a nationwide financial stimulus. Those savings don't sit in a vault. Consumers spend that extra cash on other things, eating out, renovating a house, or buying software. This diagram illustrates how that single savings node splinters out. The money saved on imported clothes or electronics directly funds new jobs in tech, construction, and the local service industry. Economists call this comparative advantage. The economy naturally sheds the industries where it is inefficient and reallocates those workers and resources into sectors where it excels. Because the workforce is now concentrated in highly specialized, highly productive industries, the overall output of the country increases. As productivity goes up, the average wage across the entire economy rises with it. The factory closure makes the evening news because it happens in one building, to one group of people. The thousands of new jobs and slight wage increases scattered across the rest of the country are completely invisible to the human eye. The standard political response to visible factory closures is to block imports. Lawmakers rely on tariffs and quotas to artificially shield threatened domestic industries. A tariff simply taxes the imported good at the border. By forcing the foreign price up, consumers have to buy the domestic version. This keeps the local factory open and keeps those specific workers employed. In the US sugar industry, consumers pay an extra $826,000 annually to save just one job. But that massive sum fractures. It doesn't go to the worker. It's absorbed by corporate profits, executive bonuses, and systemic inefficiency. And the damage spreads. If a domestic candy manufacturer has to pay artificially high prices for their sugar, their production costs spike. To stay afloat, they have to raise their own prices or cut jobs in their own factories. Using economic walls to protect a specific factory is a mathematical trap. It sacrifices jobs in otherwise healthy industries and drains the average wealth of the entire nation to prop up a failing sector. International trade operates exactly like another powerful economic force, technological innovation. Both a robotic assembly line and a new trade route disrupt the status quo. They both render old skills obsolete for certain workers, while simultaneously driving massive leaps forward in national productivity. We generally accept that a government shouldn't ban computers to save the jobs of typewriter mechanics. Yet, the immediate instinct is to ban foreign imports to save legacy manufacturing. That doesn't mean the disruption is painless. For low-skilled workers competing directly with foreign labor, the displacement is entirely real. Their wages drop, and their life alternatives are often bleak. But clamping down on global trade attempts to freeze a living market in place. It sacrifices the compounding prosperity of the entire country to avoid the friction of progress. The consensus among economists for solving this is straightforward. Let the market generate the massive financial gains of free trade, but actively redirect a portion of that wealth to build strong safety nets and aggressive retraining programs for the specific workers displaced. A modern economy cannot thrive by building walls to block out disruption. It thrives by harnessing that immense power